Yo, I'm back again.
Cool Hand Podcast.
Yo, I don't know why I'm really here, but it's time for you to listen clearly. Because maybe you might learn something really. I don't know how to rhyme. But hey, we got the time. Yo, this beat is really sick. Oh man. I really lost what I was gonna say. But enjoy the podcast, y'all.
Cool Hand Podcast, something you got to deal with. Give her a round of applause. Cool Hand Podcast, something you got to deal with. Welcome back to the show. I am your host. My name is Q. We have a special guest in the building. Actually, you're the first outside guest in the building. The only person to sit in that seat is Kayla.
Yay! Wow, honored.
Yeah, so this is somebody who has come into look at Kayla.
Sorry.
She
Messing up over there.
Our executive producer is slacking off, y'all. I don't know what we're gonna do with her. But so we have a special guest in the building. This is somebody who we met. How long has it been?
I don't know. How long has it been?
A year.
Has it been a year already?
Okay, so
It's a year now.
Yeah, about a year. We met this special guest during the COVID era, and she kind of popped out of nowhere. And
I really did.
Yeah, all of a sudden we're at parties and stuff and hanging out. So became a real close friend with my wife. Is that safe to say that you guys are, some pretty good friends now?
Yeah, we're close.
All right.
I don't think I can get rid of her now. I think
You can.
she know. Either she won't allow that, and she knows too much. So
It's up and it's stuck. Guest, can you please introduce yourself?
my name is Tiku. I don't know, you guys. I'm here at the Cool Hand Podcast. I'm from South Africa, Johannesburg. Stand up. Josie, Mzansi. And yeah, I'm just here to hang out with my friends and have a nice conversation with my friends.
Let's have a nice conversation. So, Tiku, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And this is the thing. You were questioning why you? Why?
No.
You're an interesting person. You have a lot of personality, in my opinion.
I do have a lot of personality.
And you have a podcast radio voice.
I was worried about my voice. I was like, it needs to be up to par. But thank you for saying that.
This is the thing. With your accent as well, it's very soothing and calming. So when I say a radio podcast voice, you got it.
Thanks, guys.
You got what it takes. So you had mentioned before that you're from Johannesburg. Mm-hmm. Am I saying that correctly? Johannesburg.
Yeah.
I see it on paper a lot because, I'm an NBA person and I would collect basketball cards, and there'd be
nice.
Basketball players who came from that part of Africa.
That's
I'm not going to
crazy.
say it again and embarrass myself. So
No, you said it right, though.
Johannesburg.
Yeah.
Johannesburg. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it again.
Or you can say Joburg.
Joburg. Josie.
Josie, yeah.
All right.
He's one of us.
Stop. All right. So you're coming out of Josie. Now, I just want to, and Pittsburgh is not your first stop in the States. So I want to get to know you a little bit. And so let's start at the beginning. You're from Josie and you grew up there.
I grew up, yeah. So I was born and bred in Johannesburg, Kempton Park, so Johannesburg East, the East Rand. And I moved here 2019. And I lived in Georgia for 3 months. And then I moved to Boston and I spent most of my time in Boston. And then I ended up here in Pittsburgh. So I spent a year and a little bit in Boston, and then I finished off
Gotcha.
over here in Pittsburgh. I landed in Pittsburgh. My family lives, so my aunt, which is my uncle, which is my mom's brother, he lives in Pittsburgh, and so I moved in with them, and so I live with them. I ended up in Pittsburgh, and that's where you guys met me.
All right. So at what age did you leave Josie?
21.
Oh, so
22, sorry. 22.
So at 22 years old, now I don't know how old you are, and I'm not going to ask you your age either, but that wasn't too long ago.
No.
Oh, I didn't know that. I did not know that. I just kind of assumed you were here.
For a really long time.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So.
And also it feels like we've known each other for a long time.
Yeah, you're the homie.
You guys are the homie. I don't remember a time not knowing you guys.
That's how real it is.
Honestly, I remember when we had only known each other for like 3 months. Do you remember? We went to that party,
yes.
And people were like, "Oh, how long have you guys known each other?" And I was like, "I think it's been a year."
I also thought it was a long time. We were like, wait.
But then you were like, "No, Kayla, I just got here."
You were like, you did? You weren't here the whole time?
It had only been 3 months, but it felt like a year.
It's felt like a long time.
As Tracy Morgan said on Martin, we go back like car seats and headrests. So that's how, shout out to Tracy
Quite
Morgan.
literally.
So, Josie,
yeah.
What was life like growing up in, did you say it was South Africa?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what was life like growing up in South Africa? What's the culture like? What's the food like? What's the environment like?
Oh my gosh, it's not real. It's something out of this world. And I enjoyed growing up in Johannesburg, but I always had known that I wanted to like go and see other stuff. So it was, for me, I feel like now sitting here, I didn't like, all I thought about was, oh, I want to go see this place, I want to go here, and I didn't really enjoy the time that I had at home. But it's nice, like the people are like, what can I use for example? Like we use sounds to mean certain things. So when someone's like, I can't think of a sound right now, but if we're having a conversation and then you make that sound means a whole sentence, and you're like, okay, I get what you mean. That's what it's. Yeah. So when you're kissing your teeth, like, it means like, oh man. Or when you say like ish. Aish, yeah. Aish. It's E-I-S-H. It's like, aish can mean so many different things. You can say it in so many different ways. If your mom caught you taking something that you're like, ish. And if you hear bad news, you're like, aish.
Aish.
Yeah, or like, yo. Yo. And like, yo. So that's what it's like. And then you have a whole bunch of cultures, obviously, like, so especially Johannesburg is a melting pot as well. There's a whole bunch of people from everywhere and a whole bunch of people from different language groups as well. So you all go to school together and you're learning all these different languages at the same time as well. And then music, we love house music, amapiano, which I don't know if you guys have heard amapiano yet.
No.
I'm a bad friend. I haven't like played amapiano for you guys, which is like, you're gonna like it but it's a lot of it. Then there's gqom, which is like very like electric. I would say for all those who are out there who are South African who are gonna listen to this, please don't DM me and say I was wrong, because this is my experience. But that's what, like, people love to dance in South Africa. People love to like eat food. So food is very like big as well. But the music scene is also like, we love listening to music. We love dancing. Like, people used to dance at school in circles. Mm-hmm. We had the crumpers, and then we had these boys that would dance to house music, and they were incredible. Like, it's like they were born and they knew how to dance. That's what's crazy. And when you go to, like, we call it the kasi, K-A-S-I, like the hood, and all the kids all the little kids know how to automatically just know how to dance. It's crazy.
Up in the kasi.
Yeah, up in the kasi. Yeah, so you like, there's a whole bunch, but it's a melting pot. Like I said, like, so growing up there, you learn different languages, you learn from different people, and yeah.
Okay. Thank you. That's a great overview. Now, you talked about food. Love food. I love to eat.
We love to
You
eat.
like to eat, Kayla?
I like to eat.
We like to eat over here.
We just got done eating, actually.
Yeah.
We had to get a pre-podcast fuel meal. Now, what's the food like in Josie? And what's your favorite? Let me throw that in there as well.
Ooh, what's
yeah.
my favorite? Guys. Okay, I like bride meat, which braai is our version of a cookout. And it's the act of like putting it's charcoal burnt or charcoal grilled meat, charcoal grilled chicken, charcoal grilled almost anything, ribs, whatever. And so that is like a braai course would be like a barbecue meal. So you have like potato salad, you have like the charcoal grill meat, you have something called chakalaka, which is like a salad. I think it's a salad. So it's baked beans, green, like all the bell peppers, actually, all the colors, grated carrots, and it's in this like spicy sauce. So it's like a chili, not a chili, like a pepper, a hot pepper kind of sauce. And then you have steamed bread, which is called dombolo.
Dombolo.
Yes.
And chakalaka. This is right up my alley.
You would like it, actually. It tastes really good. So that's what I miss a lot. Chakalaka, dombolo, and the snacks. And we had tomato flavored Fritos.
Nah.
For real. Tomato flavored chips in general, like tomato flavored chips.
What's the relationship? Is there a special relationship with tomatoes? And
I don't know. I don't know what it is. I've never thought about it before. We've just always had like it's just a flavor that you get. You get barbecue, you get tomato, you get salt and vinegar. That's a staple, and cheese.
Were they good?
They were delicious.
Oh, okay. Well, if you recommend it, I would try it.
I think you would like it. I think you would like it. And then we have these how can I compare? I'm trying to compare it to something that you know. So Cheetos, like you know how Cheetos are the corn chips, and we'd have the ones that they'd sell in the kasi, but they'd sell them outside our schools as well. You can buy them in like bulk. And so all these ladies who are selling to you, it's like a flea market outside your school, except it doesn't look like a flea market. It's just it's like piece of wood and a table, and they like sell all these little, like they sell like I don't know how to describe this popcorn. It's called amaskopas.
Amascopas.
Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. I'll Google it quickly and show you. But so they'd sell like these snacks. I forgot what these snacks are called. I don't know if I would call them like ghetto snacks, like kasi snacks. And you could buy them after school. It was like the best. It was so nice. You would like, oh, you have your little coin and you'd go and give the lady, and I would always get tomato flavored stuff.
Beautiful. And this is why we have you on the Cool Hand podcast, Tiku, because I've learned so much. I've learned about the name that had a in it. The artist. What was that his name?
Well, it's a music genre, but
it's a music. See how ignorant I am? So I'm learning even more. It's a music genre. Okay. Yeah. So I'm learning that already. The tomato flavored chips. I actually want to try some now. Do they come in hot tomato?
Ooh, spicy tomato?
Because spicy tomato.
Okay.
I don't know. That would be nice. Yeah, probably.
Big spicy. Chakalaka.
Big spicy.
We got the steamed bread. Oh, man. The kasi. What's that?
Bride meat.
The bride meat.
Yeah, man.
All right, so I'm being educated. I'm being educated a lot. So transitioning to coming to the States, now, was there an excitement? Was there a curiosity when you decided to come to the States? Could you explain why you're here? I don't know if you want to. What brought you to the States?
Absolutely. I mean, like, well, I was excited. Everybody's excited, right? You come, you're like, you want to see, and also you see it on TV, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's like how you guys would see Africa on TV and be like, I don't know if I want to go to a safari and get eaten by a lion.
Yeah, they don't show the good. They don't show the good Africa. They only show a.
You have a, so there's you look at it and you're like, oh, I don't want to go there. But then when you were like, oh my gosh, I want to see it. I want to go. You know, I came on an exchange program and also schooling as well. So that's the reason why. That's what brought me here. And it gave you like the opportunity. It gave me the opportunity, rather I should say, to see America. And I don't know if your next question was going to be what I thought at first, because I was going to go and say that.
Go ahead. What was your perception of America?
Firstly, I had a certain perception of like what people are going to sound like, what they're going to be like. And then also what I saw, I couldn't have imagined. Like seeing, even just driving from the Kingdom Hall coming here, like the trees, the scenery, like how everything looks so, like there's a lot to see in America. That was like not even, that was far from I was like thinking New York, Atlanta, you know what I mean? Like, but there was like Pittsburgh, you know, there was so much more to see and that I discovered, especially living in Massachusetts. You go to places like New Hampshire and Maine, which no one really, when I speak to them, have visited those places. But when I got the opportunity to go, or like Vermont. All I know about Vermont is Tom and Jerry's. But when you go there, it's like mountains and these long roads and all the windy roads in America. You guys, what's going on? So then it allowed me to be like, okay, yeah, there's another side to what I thought. It wasn't like Empire State Building and only New York. Then with the people, I was like, oh, everyone is going to be like so, you know, not all the way there. You're going to be a little, I did think you guys were dumb. Not you guys, but I just thought in general that, okay, they're going to be a little bit more. Because that's what you see.
A little bitsy.
Or that, I think I should say, or that we're very different. But when I met you, all the friends that I have, we all lived basically the same lives. We listened to the same music. We watched the same shows. I'll be like, do you remember that? You'll be like, oh yeah, it was on Nickelodeon. It's like, it was on Nickelodeon, yeah. Mm-hmm. So that also like made me see how like other people exist as well in the world. It's not just me. So I liked that about moving here. It allowed me to broaden my horizons, and then it showed me that, oh, we're not all that different. You know what I mean? Yeah.
How dumb did you think Americans were? Let's just, because
no.
I'm gonna keep it real. I don't like, and I guess I'm kind of speaking for myself in a sense too, because I think as Americans we are spoiled for one. We're spoiled and we take things for granted.
Yeah.
I guess that goes hand in hand with spoiled, but more so education as well. So I want to know what how Americans were viewed or are viewed coming from Josie, or even, you know, you don't have to explicitly say what you thought, but just the common perception of Americans.
I think, I don't know how to put it in a way that makes sense outside of my brain as well. Because in my head it makes sense, but how can I say it? So, me personally, like what I perceived was like humor, for instance, is a good example. You guys are like, how I saw America was like, oh, throw a pie in your face, funny. You know, it wasn't like oh, there's like a intelligent connection, and that's why it's funny. So it was like, but I've spoken to so many people who are really, really smart over here. And you're thinking, oh, Americans are like, you know, just truck drivers. like, like I've met people that don't know where I come from. They don't know where geographically South Africa is, which I understand, because sitting here right now and being in America, I have found myself closed in. I understand why people feel that way, because there's a lot happening here. There's times where I've forgotten about the other side of the world. That's like 100% true. But geographically, no one knew where South Africa was, what was happening. Like, life it's like, oh, you guys have some cars. Someone asked me if we have ice cream, which was wild, because I was like, we have dairy as well, so I think we figured out how to make ice cream. But it's just those types of things were like, yeah, America. It's just the fact that like you guys probably, or that Americans don't know what's happening on the other side of the world.
Yes.
And that's true.
Yes. It's a sad reality. This is what we were talking about, not what we were talking about in me and Kayla's podcast, but you have to do research.
100%.
Because if they're not going to teach you a whole bunch of cultural things in school, you learn some stuff and that's it. And it's not, I'm going to say different cultures is not promoted where you go. Like, yeah. I think it's like some type of heritage month with my former company, but they just have like a picture of this native person on the home screen of the website, and like it almost stops there. So like I really feel that, and I'm glad that you spoke on this, because it's real rap. It's real rap. So coming over to the United States, your first stop was Boston, right? Okay, so did you find yourself having to make adjustments within yourself, how you interacted with people, so on and so forth, coming from South Africa?
100%. I think there were, like, for instance, certain words that I used, certain slang that I used as well. So no one really knows. Sometimes it just comes automatically because that's what I do. That's how it's kind of just like, I see something happen and I'm like, wow, hectic. But someone was like to me, you use the word hectic a lot. And I was like, wow, I actually do use hectic. But hectic can mean like things are bad, like, you know. And so there were certain things I had to change. The words I used for a trash can, the words I used for like all these certain different items. I was like, I didn't want to stand out too much as different. I think in the beginning I was like, just come on, dude. Like, just go with the flow. Don't make people work so hard to figure out what you're saying. Like, just say what you know. Because I know you guys don't call a napkin a serviette, right? We call it a serviette. And I can't go to Chipotle and ask for a serviette, because that's wasting, this whole interaction is wasting a whole bunch of time, because you're going to be like, what is that? And I'll be like, a napkin. I would have just started off with a napkin. So that made me say all these words or use all these words that I didn't use. And then I had to like, so that was an adjustment as well. I was like, I have to, and people in Boston, some are more like reserved. So I don't just walk up to someone and give them a hug, or I don't just caress a sister's arm. Like, she probably doesn't like that. But I don't know, there's some people that don't, some people that do in South Africa, but for the most part, like, we do, like, we're very, you know. So that was an adjustment as well, like trying to fit in as well as I could.
How are you doing today with that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine now. Like, I still refrain from using certain slang words because people just don't know what I'm talking about. Hectic. But yeah, but now I'm fine. Like, now it's just, now I'm in the groove. I'm on the train, right? It felt like an ongoing train and I had to catch up and jump on, but now I'm on the train.
Great. What do you miss most about home?
Definitely my siblings and the food, 100%. And like, we have these shops, I miss, what is that shop? Matchbox is a chip shop in South Africa that makes slop chips. And it's like slop fries. And you go there and they have these fries. Like, you just go there for fries and sausage. They can put chicken on them and whatever, but you go there and you get your fries and you have them with bread and you have like a fry sandwich. It's really good. And then they deep fry it. They sloppy. And then they ask you what you want on it. You can put whatever you want on it. And I miss Matchbox. I miss that. And Stir Kinnicore, which is a cinema, they had the best. I don't like cinema popcorn in America at all. Stir Kinnicore, you need to sponsor over here. Sponsor the Cool Hand podcast and send them some salt. They have these flavored salts that, so instead of putting like butter, like drippy butter on it's a salt. And they made the best. I don't know where Stir Kinnicore got their popcorn from, where they got their salt from, but that's what I miss. Yeah, I miss the cinema and the chip shops.
Okay. Do you go back often?
I haven't been back since. I need to go back.
All right, man. All right. You got to go visit these people that we're about to talk about next, because you mentioned your siblings.
Yes.
Right? And now we've had conversations. We were all riding together and stuff, and we were talking about your music and your music taste and things like that. And you said that you learned a lot of music from your siblings, namely one of your brothers. Mm-hmm. And can you give a history on that?
Big up Charlie. Big up Charles, my big brother. Yeah. So I think I was nosy. And I wanted to be him so badly. I thought he was cool. No, and I still think he's cool. I wanted to be him so badly. And I didn't realize until later. But he used to drive me to school because when I was in grade 1, he was in grade 12. So he was finishing school. And that's the age gap. But there was a point where he used to drive me to school all the time. And he would just play all these songs. And I remember his room, he had all these CDs, like a lot of CDs. Like, he'd have so many CDs. And I used to go in there and just like play. For the longest time, all I can remember were him and his CDs. And he was a rapper as well. And I remember like seeing him like notes of like rhymes he wrote, but I never could read. Like, I never really paid attention to read what he wrote. But a lot of the stuff he'd play around the house, he'd play on our way to school, I just remember that stuff and I started to like it. And then when he got a laptop and I got a little bit older, I started trying to steal his stuff. Like, I'd go into his laptop and like trying to hear what he's listening to, and I'd be like, oh, his music. And I'd like go and see what he like. The first time I heard Coldplay was on his laptop. The first time I heard Little Dragon, which I really love, is from his laptop. So stuff like that. Like, my brother, all the things that I heard at that time were from him, and then I branched off and like became my own person and decided kind of. But Charlie is the main guy who introduced me to a lot of the stuff that I like now.
Shout out to Charlie.
Shout out Charlie.
And what are some of the stuff that you like now?
Okay, so I like.
She said E. Ish. You said it.
This is hectic. I mean, I like hip hop. I like rap. I like the way, I like the way it makes you feel when you listen to it. So I like Mos Def. I like so many people. Why did I just go blank right now? But like, I like Kendrick Lamar. I like Nas. I like Jay-Z. You know the works, the people. We got like all those people. They're gonna come back to me. Sorry guys, my brain just went into like a real block right now.
That's all right, but check this out.
What on earth?
Check this out, because you mentioned rap.
Yeah.
Shout out to Charlie once again. Shout out to Charlie.
Shout out to Charlie.
And you have this hip hop outfit on. You got the Kango looking like LL Cool J.
Yeah.
You're rocking Adidas on some Run DMC, Adidas track pants. Now, I don't think we could see the shoes on camera, but on Instagram, if you follow me on the Cool Hand Podcast, there's going to be a picture of Tiku in her whole outfit. You know we're doing pod fits, so we had to snap the whole outfit.
You're going to get a picture of the fit.
And she's wearing Yeezys. So she got on all Kango, old school, Adidas, Run DMC, old school, Yeezys.
Yeah, I really was like, I need to keep a balance. I need to keep a balance of the new school and the old school.
Yeah. So even in your outward appearance, your what's the word that you are reeking of hip hop.
It's dripping off of you.
It is dripping, and it's so obvious. So outside of hip hop, we got the hip hop down. We got that down pat. And when it comes back to you, you can tell us about some more of the people that you like and like to listen to. But outside of hip hop, you talked about Coldplay and Little Dragon. How about some of those other genres and musics that you like in artists?
Ooh, okay. So I like, my music taste is really just all over the place. Like there's some sort of a uniform, because even with the African music that I listen to, so Afrobeat, Afro swing, all that stuff, there's some sort of a uniform. They kind of, you can tell that there's like they kind of sound the same, but other genres, like I like Dave, and Gets, who is a UK, I don't know if they're considered UK rap or UK grime, which is supposed to be a niche of hip hop. And I like stuff like that. And I like Coldplay. I like 90s R&B. I like some Norah Jones, some Billie Holiday, some Otis. Call me Mr. Pitiful. Like that type of, like, I like Sam Cooke. So it's really like all over the place. And if you listen to Sam Cooke and you listen to Little Dragon, and then you go and you listen to like Mos Def, there is some sort of like uniform. You see that there's like, it still stays the same. It's not completely out of like, so those, just to name a few, those are the people that I listen to. And Little Dragon, for those who don't know, is a Swedish group, a Swedish band that everybody has probably heard their first song twice. But yeah, they're like my favorite band. The greatest band of all time.
Talk that stuff.
Yeah, that's according to me, of course. According to me, I love them. They're just, the vocalist, she's perfect. Like, and that's the thing, that I love beautiful voices. So another girl, she's Canadian, Charlotte Day Wilson, is a perfect example, because if you listen to her and her voice, it's just, and I like stuff like that. So it's just like melodies, voices, beautiful voices. I like to listen to beautiful voices. That's it. Yeah.
Are you a fan of Sade?
I love Sade.
You love Sade. Now, to the right of you is a shirt that you have expressed that you like. We were at a friend's house. We were all at a friend's house, and I was wearing this shirt. I'm like, oh, I need to rock this shirt. And Tiku asked, she said, oh, I like that shirt. Where'd you get it from? And you know what I told her, Kayla?
What did you tell her?
I said I said her. I really messed that up. I was doing so well.
Okay.
I was doing so well.
He really had to go and be American on us. And doesn't...
This is what I told her. I said,
Oh, come on.
I choked twice. In battle rap, we call this choking. I got it at Volare Toro. And Volare Toro is, I rock this a lot, and everybody sees
Shout out
these.
Volare Toro.
Volare Toro is the name of the brand. Now, this is the Sade shirt right there. And you can't really see the other shirts, but you see them on the other podcasts. And, you know, Volare Toro is a great brand. It's quality material. It's quality. And I don't have a Volare Toro shirt on today, but that also brings me to another person that I'm about to give a shout out to. We just ate, excuse me. And that person is Capto. Now, his name is Kendall, but the name is Capto of the brand. And I believe these brothers and all that, they are like pressing these shirts themselves. Wow. So that's real talk. CaptoStadium.com, I believe. Whatever it is, I'm going to link these the websites to these shirts. You could get it in Tiku. Because you like that shirt so much, the Cool Hand Podcast is going to gift you one.
Wow.
Just let us know. You are watching a master at work. Real. All right.
Can I say I wasn't sure if I was like, I'm not going to go home with one. I was just about to say I'm not going to go home with one. But I appreciate you guys gifting me this. This is such a vibe. I'm so excited.
Oh yeah, you're not going home with one today, but you're going to get one shipped to you.
So I am going home empty-handed.
Yes,
thank you, Cool Hand Podcast.
Yes, you are. But yeah, we're going to get you one, and just, you know, we'll talk about it off screen. But once you get it, take a picture, tag the Cool Hand Podcast. We'll put it up on the story. Another edition of Podfits. Back to your life.
So, speaking of Sade, shout out Charlie as well. I was introduced to Sade by Charlie. He also had so many, I don't even know if he remembers this. And sometimes because he doesn't remember, I feel like I filled it in my memory and made this up. But I'm pretty sure he had a whole bunch of Sade albums on his little, you know. He had an iPhone 1, but I don't know if you could put music on the iPhone 1, but I think it was on his laptop that it must have been on there. And Sade, man, shout out. Shout out
to Sade. We love you on the Cool Hand Podcast. She loves the Cool Hand Podcast too. I'm not saying that Sade listens, but she probably does because she's cool.
Because she knows what's up.
And if she knows what's up. If you know what's up, if I were you and I like Sade, I would watch this podcast. But that's just me. I'm not responsible for what you do, but it's just a suggestion. So now you prepared for this.
I did.
You came prepared.
Somewhat prepared.
So you know what time it is and what I'm about to ask you. It's time for some top fives.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeesh. It's about to get real hectic up in here. So
Okay.
let's and if you want to give 6 or 7, that's fine. You know, we're not going to
Some
be
honorary mentions.
Absolutely.
Nice.
You can give honorary mentions. So just artists in general. If you were to sum up Tiku, if all you can do is give artists to people to sum up who you are and what you like, who are these top 5s? Take your time.
Wow, guys.
The pressure is getting.
The pressure is getting worse. Now I don't know who to choose. Like, who makes the cut? Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay. So, this is across genres. Or just
Across genres.
Each artist represents the type of music. It's not like... Should I explain each and every one?
Have at it. It's your show.
He said, hey, do what you want. Okay. MF Doom, because that, like, I like listening to that type of rap. The way he, like, just delivers, like, people who are in that genre, like that, I like. That's one. J. Cole, this is I had a hard time choosing between J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar. But Kendrick Lamar simply doesn't make the cut. Just this is hard. This is an internal like there's an internal struggle going on. Okay, so let's MF Doom for sure. Just the whole he's like the whole umbrella of like that whole like just put them all under one umbrella. And then J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar also this is one umbrella of just then again like being born and being alive in this time. So just what year can I say? 2011. Mm-hmm. Just being cognizant of their existence and being able to listen to their words and understand, like, right? So that them, right? And then who else? Frank Ocean. Just because that little umbrella of Frank Ocean, I like Frank Ocean, Daniel Caesar, like that little Charlotte Day Wilson, all of them together just are an example of the side of R&B that I like. The little alternative. I don't know. Is that the right word to use?
No, I definitely think Frank Ocean changed the game. He has a lot of sons. You're right. He has a lot of children.
Has a lot of children. Mm-hmm. You guys need to claim him. But yeah, so Frank Ocean, and then Mariah Carey.
Okay.
Mariah Carey.
Rah-rah.
Mimi, Mariah Carey, Jermaine Dupri. Like, so that represents, I'm not saying she is the pioneer of 90s R&B. I'm sorry, Lauryn Hill. I'm sorry, Beyonce. I'm sorry, Usher. Those are all going under one umbrella. Because I like you guys all. I love you all. Mariah Carey's little glass note. Come on. Come on. Okay, so, and then lastly would be, am I at the end now?
I think that was 5, but
was that 5 already?
Because you put in J. Cole and Kendrick. Keep going though. I'm interested. I like the stories behind these. Okay.
Then there's a special group of people in the UK. Tomish, Loyal Connor, who else? He's not British, but he's part of the gang too. I can't believe I forgot his name. I will research this in 2 seconds. Please.
Skepta.
No, so I'm not there yet. This is problematic. This is why I can't choose. Why did you leave me alone to choose? This is bad. This is really bad. But so they're like Tomish, Jordan Rakai.
Never heard of this person. That's one of.
We're listening to Jordan Rakai after this podcast.
All right, we sure are.
But it's like that's like the weird alternative jazz side of me. Without Sam Cooke, without the classic jazz, without all that other stuff that I mentioned before, there's so many facets of just one person. This is problematic. And I was talking to Kayla on our way here that it's my indecisiveness, but that's another therapy session.
No, this is good.
That's for another day.
That's for another therapy session.
This is good. I'm gonna leave that therapy session to y'all for y'all. You know, when y'all hang out because
it's like, why are you indecisive?
No. we're not going to touch that with a 10-foot pole today. But what you said triggers a thought from myself, because there's this podcast that I've been procrastinating on that I'm supposed to wear that Sade shirt on, which is talking about those umbrellas and inspiration. And the theme is no ideas original, meaning we get inspiration or just straight up copy someone and put our own little twist on things.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. I was listening to an artist, and he was making this African electronic music in I believe it was the 70s, 60s, 70s. And he sounded like people that I listen to today.
Wow.
And this guy, I think his name is Francis BB. I could be saying it wrong. And when I saw one of the covers of his projects, another artist who named their project Bebe had the similar artwork. And I'm like, how didn't I know this? You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy how how people and musicians and famous musicians draw their inspiration. And go ahead, do your thing.
I was just thinking about that the other day, because, I Know I Can by Nas, from Beethoven.
Right, there you go.
Really getting... Kanye West took one of his lines from Family Business, from Ghostface Killer song with Mary J. Blige.
Don't know it.
All I got is, all that I got is you.
Oh, good. Y'all hear the voice?
No,
so Mariah Carey.
But anyway, so there's a verse in that song that Ghostface speaks about how he used to sleep in the bed with his siblings, and one 6 at the head and 6 at the feet, and Kanye West said 3 at the head and 3 at the... But you didn't have to tell my girl I used to pee in the bed.
Yeah.
And then Ghostface says, I don't want to sleep next to John because John peed the bed. Which is crazy. Yeah. Right?
Well, Kanye took a lot of stuff from Wu-Tang Clan. You could see how heavily influenced he was. Just you saying that is no surprise to me, as he's gotten a lot of inspiration from Wu-Tang Clan as a whole.
And the chain goes on. J. Cole to Kanye West. So
Workout.
many of the... Yeah, Workout. His other song, we were talking about it the other day. There's 2 songs that he has, No ID My Mentor, he got from from Big Brother. And then there's that other song he got, what's it called? Dreams. He got that beat from Kanye's Drive Slow, homie.
It's an ongoing cycle.
Ongoing thing.
Kanye got a lot of children out here too. A lot of y'all, probably the person listening and watching this today is
Kanye's
one of.
child.
I absolutely am.
Yeah, I'm Kanye's child too.
And I'm not afraid to say it.
That's my dad.
She,
No, quite literally.
That's my dad.
That's my dad.
Yeah, you got a sneak song right now. Don't get me started on Kanye, because this podcast isn't about me and about how everybody owes Kanye a gift. But so anyway.
He said we're veering off.
Yeah. Because I'll go off about some Kanye and his influence. Even this shirt. Anyway, like the cut of this shirt. That's real talk. I'll go
where
off.
You got it from.
So Tiku. All right.
Back to me.
Tiku. So we got a top 5. We got a top 5.
Somewhat of a top 5.
Somewhat
I'm sorry,
of a top
guys.
5.
I went on the tangent there.
Let's do albums. Let's talk some albums.
All genres.
All genres. I know it's kind of hard. This is the last one. I'm telling you, this is the last one.
My gosh. Man, I didn't prepare for all genres.
We can narrow it down.
Okay. So these are the albums that I've rinsed. I'm talking, they have no color anymore because I've listened to them so much. I've rinsed out these albums. All in This Together by Dave. To Pimp a Butterfly by Kendrick Lamar. Same Me, New Us, I think that's what it's called. Sorry.
Who's the artist?
Little Dragon.
Okay.
So I know there are better Little Dragons. New Me, Same Us. Little Dragons albums out there, but that one just... And then we at 3 now.
Now I have an ear to the streets. And now somebody told me that 1999 by Joey $sign is one of your favorites.
It is. 1999 by Joey $sign is one of my favorite albums. His best album. And his sequel, 2000, is also good. I was having a hard time with the next one. Because I've got a lot of favorite albums, so I won't put them all out there. So I had to just get ones that I really completely rinsed. I didn't put any Afrobeat albums on there because it's all Burna Boy albums.
So, oh yeah, you like Burna Boy. I forgot about that. Yeah, you love him.
I really like Burna Boy. I started listening to Burna Boy in 2009 when he dropped We Like to Party. Bro, let's not talk about Burna Boy right now.
She's gatekeeping.
Getting emotional.
Burna Boy's, like, these, guys, it's hard for me to put down 5. But I had a hard time with Born Sinner and 2014 Forest Hills Drive. I can't sit here and say, I don't know. I was talking, I was like, Tiku, can you really sit here and say Forest Hills is better than Born Sinner? Can you say Born Sinner is better than... Can you really say that Born Sinner is better than Forest? Like, what?
I don't think you can.
I can say Forest Hill Drive is better. And it comes down to preference at the end of the day, but I'll tell you why I can say that. Because it's shorter and...
Shorter than Born Sinner?
Yes. So less songs.
Okay.
So I think that alone, when you have more songs, you have more that you may want to skip.
Okay, that's what I was also saying. I was like, does this have like no skips? And I came down to... What were you going to say?
But does the weight of those unskippable songs make up for the skippable songs?
Yeah.
That's why it comes down to preference. I was just giving mine, like, Forest Hill Drive is a more polished project.
I could agree.
I feel like that's why it's shorter.
Polished. And I like, and 2014 Forest Hill Drive did win this battle between the two. But they are. I've listened to every single J. Cole album, like, thoroughly, and I had to pick one. So this is just because it's circumstantial. Okay, these are the circumstances right here. Honorary mention is this is hard, guys. Black on Both Sides.
You're speaking my language.
Because I've listened to it thoroughly and I've enjoyed a lot. Like, there are more songs that I like than I dislike on there.
There's no songs you should dislike on there.
That's the thing. Like, I can't even think of which one I don't like. So,
speaking my language.
There we go. It wasn't supposed to be an honorary mention. It was supposed to be in there. It's actually number 1 on the list. I really, 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 really like that album. And, yeah.
You could stay a little longer. You earned yourself 5 more minutes. No, I'm just kidding. We all know that that's one of my favorite projects.
I know, and you took it off. I had this whole thing. I was gonna be like,
I know. I'm wilding, ain't I? I took it down.
No, but this looks good now. You got some new stuff.
It's Crowded Places album or EP.
Crowded Places.
Shout out to Crowded Places. You can win one of these very soon. I think this is gonna come out after I do the giveaway. So shout out to whoever won.
You can be like me and get a t-shirt and be as happy. So.
Well, TQ's going to enter the giveaway. I know that. Of course.
Totally have to take that home, guys.
Absolutely. So this is the last thing. I want to wrap this up. Mm-hmm. Now, you like to say you don't have any talents or anything. Like, what am I on the podcast for? Because you have these people. No, this is Tiku who we're talking about. So, is there anything that you do that we may not know about creatively? What's something that Tiku does?
You guys, it's crazy. I really don't do anything
And
creative.
she's capping. We're calling big cap. Kayla's signaling to her off camera.
Stop it.
Do you dance?
You can dance.
I don't.
Tell the truth.
You're
Tiny bit.
okay, tiny bit. She's
Tiny
being
bit.
modest.
I really wish I was a producer, though. I really wish I could, like, jump on, just start making some beats and hear something. But yeah, I dance. Just
So Tiku knows how to get out.
we let it get down
See, and she's making beats. She's producing.
at the same time.
What is it about production that draws you to it?
It's wild. I think I heard someone say, I answered that question very quickly. It's like I've been practicing my whole life. It's wild. I heard someone say, I don't know where, they said that they love the process of making music. And shout out to whoever that was. I can't remember who it was. She says, you take nothing, absolutely nothing, and you make it into this entire body of work. Like what Dr. Dre did and all these crazy people. I will go back to Mariah Carey. This is not the best song she's ever made. This is not the best song that this production team has ever. I don't know if it was Jermaine Dupri, but I will say Jermaine Dupri can claim it. But have you heard Heartbreaker by Mariah Carey?
Maybe.
Have you heard the last 5-10 seconds of that song?
I'm gonna say maybe.
He said,
I'm on the hot seat here.
I don't know whose podcast is this. I'm sorry to direct those questions to you. Have you? He couldn't. He said, we are going to create another Mariah Carey. We don't have one who exists right now. That song, and we're going to play it afterwards so that you can hear what I'm talking about. There's 4 Mariahs going at the same time after Jay-Z's verse, like a little bit after when the song's about to end. And she's belting out her little version of whatever she's saying. There's Mariah Carey going on in the side, like on this side, she's going, give me your love, give me your love, give me your love. And then she's going, ah. And on the other side, the other person's like, baby. That is insane. If you can actually make that happen, but that's the beauty of the sound technology and all this crazy things. But that person said, I don't have another Mariah, but I'll make 4. I have the technology to do that. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. It's insane. Like, you can make music, and then on top of that, you have some producers that jump on their own songs. Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
He jumped on, like, you are greedy at this point. You can rap and you can produce, but it's just like, that's crazy. Like, you can make something like that happen. So I just think that's the part that blows my mind, that they can actually do that. You sit, and then I listen to it in spatial audio or whatever, and I'm hearing Mariah Carey from all angles. And it really is just, you appreciate whatever it is whatever he wanted to do, you did that. Jermaine Dupri, you did that because I felt it.
Shout out to Jermaine Dupri, because I
don't
feel
know
like
if you produced that song. I'm gonna look that up, but shout out to you, dude.
But shout out to him, because I don't really see him. I feel like when people not fall off, but I remember like he went into bankruptcy and like losing houses and stuff like that. I feel like people's, like the court of public opinion, their name kind of gets smut on it and disrespected. So shout out to you for showing Jermaine Dupri some love.
That's my boy.
Yeah, he watches this all the time.
Oh my goodness, please.
Yeah.
Jermaine, jump on the podcast.
Yeah. He's not ready yet. It's going to take some time.
We're going to take some time.
Tiku, thank you for coming on the Cool
Thank
Hand
you for having
podcast.
me.
I feel like
so
we
cool.
probably we probably could have like, kept going. Maybe we can have you back on in the future. Have you discuss some topics. You could be like a recurring guest, kind of like TK Kirkland on Vlad TV, or Lil Boozy. You're boozy. All right.
I'm boozy.
You're boozy. All right.
I agree with that.
You're
100%.
cool hand boozy. So, any last words? Any shout outs? Any sneak disses? Any whatever?
Absolutely not.
Not me having ops. Shout out to Charlie, first and foremost. Charles Mwape. The greatest, the GOAT, actually.
I feel like he's my brother after this.
Right?
I love Charlie.
I love Charlie too. That guy is dope. He knows everything about everything. So shout out to him. Shout out to you guys. Thank you for having me here.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming.
Shout out to Mzansi, guys. Yeah.
Zanzi?
Josie. Mzansi.
Josie. Zanzi.
Johannesburg. Yeah. And shout out to Kayla for being a great creative director. I love you guys all. And all you guys that are going to sit and listen to me
We love
talk.
you too, girl.
So I'm honored. Honestly, it's an honor being here as a non-artist and a tiny dancer.
Pretty sure that's a song, Tiny Dancer. But all right, this is the Cool Hand Podcast, something you got to deal with. We got Tiku in the building. Shout out to you. Shout out to the whole continent of Africa.
Let's go.
And this is the Cool Hand Podcast, something you got to deal with. Easy. That's it.